Okay. Um, God, this is so fucking humiliating. I figured out what happened. Oh, of course, I don't think about these in 2 months, right? Everything was pulling along smoothly. Things were going good until um, late January, maybe the last week in January, maybe the week just before, late in that week. Sorry, too precise. And then the I, I start to get to know someone, Lucy, and we talk on the phone, and I saw my shrink after Christmas. Um, he, I didn't pick up on the hint till later because he knew it was hopeless to tell me. But as I was checking out the counter, he sounded like he was kicking one of those cardboard file boxes across the floor. I don't know exactly what it was. He said, "You bastard Christmas." And maybe I brought this up. I think what happened is that his neighbors down that way, that I'm pretty sure my lawyer had sued already. I really don't know. I think that's a possibility, and that's why. For giving me shit, right? And one or both of them fell off the bottle, got back, or fell off the wagon, got back on the bike, whatever, on Christmas, because hey, it's Christmas. And by the end of January, their life wasn't going so well, right? And so when my life started to get better, it really kneecapped me pretty goddamn hard. I know how to make it lighter next time. I knew that I had my thoughts were so disorganized by the time they were done after about 2 days that it was distressing to listen to them. And so I talk out loud. And they fuck with me because I was talking out loud, right? They make things worse. And this went on for like a week or two, maybe a week and a half, a while, at least a week. And during this time, because it all stopped on Saturday, I remember that now, probably Ted the lawyer. Um, um, and I tried mood stabilizer. Um, I'm at the maximal dose for bipolar, but it's safe for epilepsy up to twice as much. So I added some more, and it quieted my thoughts down. Not the effects of the pill, but the side effects of the pill numb you out. So it calmed my thoughts down so I could listen to them. But then this horrible insomnia started up. I'd forgotten about that. They start you at 25 milligrams of WWWW. You reach 400. It takes forever, and there's horrible insomnia involved. It's a pain in the ass, but it really is a pretty mild pill once you get used to it. Um, and so insomnia starts. I get 4 hours of sleep. This isn't going to work. And I think about anxiety medicine. I think, well, it would take like a double dose every day, and I can't run out because the withdrawal's huge. But I have the anxiety medicine with the withdrawal. The way things are now, I'll just go ballistic. I'll go through the roof. I have to dope myself up with the point where I was lying on the couch drooling. I don't have any experience. I said, so I can't pile that on and run out. So I do the Adderall. And I wind up, what works is a 250% dose. I swear I'm not abusing it. It's self-medication, right? It's 2 in the morning, 2 6 hours later, and 1 like 2 or 3 hours after that. And I'm sleeping at night. Or during the day, but it's 24 hours, right? And that keeps me high enough that I don't lose my temper and start screaming "cunt" at the top of my lungs at the woman who's doing this. There was more than one. And I was asking Gemini about this, and it said that all this Adderall caused, essentially, it said rewiring, which receptors to atrophy or proliferate, likely. And as a result, I know the sensation from experience, but never this bad before. I was getting, I've taken quantities of Adderall this high before. I've gone back to abusing it when the next bottle gets filled. The next bottle gets filled, is the worst withdrawal ever, and in years at least. And then the next bottle gets filled, and I can tell by the way it feels. I have too much norepinephrine, not enough dopamine. Those are the two neurotransmitters that Adderall works on. And norepinephrine provides the capacity to focus, alertness as well, things like that. And the dopamine will allow the brain to utilize this as focus. So as a result, that all doesn't really work. It doesn't provide focus for starters, and it throws me into this horrible state of hyper-alertness. Where I thought at first it just Adderall induced insomnia because I hadn't had any in a while, but no, it's hyper-alertness from this. It just lasts and lasts and lasts. It doesn't go off. I slept 5 hours last night. Though that's an anxiety medicine thing, right? Anxiety medicine. My psychiatrist gently shoving me with this foot to get in there and get the drug test to cancel the last refill on anxiety medicine. I gotta be there in 4.5 hours. But as a rule, I'll lie awake and my muscles and my brain will produce the chemicals that paralyze my muscles during sleep. I won't move it. It won't budge an inch. And I'll see nothing but black, but I'll be conscious. And I'll snap out of it. God, that was a half hour past. Not all night, but for periods, right? It was just horrible sleep. And it's still going on. Last night was one of the more restful nights of sleep I got for some weird, bizarre reason. And it was only 5 hours. And because of the Adderall doing what it's supposed to do, I tried an online React tutorial. I get to the line, I don't know what I just read. And this is yesterday. This was not 3 weeks ago. So really, it's been a month and a half at this point. And after the insomnia starts to die down some, because at first I was just not sleeping at all. After the insomnia starts to die down some, they twitch, and I hear that they're going to prison. The woman herself, I hear her walking away saying, "I'm going to prison." And I assume that's happening because I haven't heard anything from, I didn't know they were shutting down there. They might have come up here, the kid might come here or something like that. At first I heard, if I don't keep my kid away from him, I'm going to get kids away from him, I'm going to prison, I'm going to prison, and I'm so fucking happy about this because the data is just so over the top. But at the same time, it demonstrates a vulnerability that's really scary. I'm frightening. If I get a job, I cannot take Adderall. Certainly. I can have extra antipsychotic on hand. Certainly. But that takes 48. Actually, it takes 20 days to kick in fully. It'll cover it during that period, but it won't block out the initial 2 or 3 days. That's not possible. And and the answer is obvious, I think. Elaine was very briefly back in my life for 2 days, as much as she, Then she got back on the pipe. Somebody told me she'd been off crack for 6 weeks. And her roommate was giving me a hard time, and I believe she got arrested too. She stopped so suddenly, and lawsuits don't do that with people. They always protest for intermittently until the lawsuit itself, and then they stop. As soon as she goes out and scores, I don't see her again. I think she was here last night. I'm not positive. Up to a point, and then she disappeared. I don't know, around 10 p.m. Working outside the door because people were laughing and just mocking her, and it's so beautiful, right? And make jokes for her expense, and can't remember a good one right now. Talking about any point is a valid center point of the universe, therefore light is not incorrect. Things like that. And because I'm doing this with this beautiful, beautiful young woman, people will laugh occasionally. But anyway, listen. Oh, God. Completely lost my train of thought. Oh, hell, there's something else to talk about anyway. Last Saturday, a friend of my dad's dad, just dropped by, and I know my dad's passed away. It's a George Carlin joke. He talks about soft language, and he says, but unfortunately, I'll never have to die. I'll pass away. I can't feel the same way about that stuff. My dad's friend drops by, and it's dirty, right? Because I'm not expecting him. I'm in the middle of writing him. I'd written him the day before saying we got lunch together. I said, can we put it off a week because of the neurotransmitter imbalance? I said, I'm worried I might be hallucinating in the restaurant. And he says, he writes me and says, sure. And something about it. And he drops by as I'm writing the message. He's got some oatmeal and stuff, right? Helps me clean up a bit. And so he says, I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. I'll come back and get your car inspected. I'll help you out with that. She's on a ride, right? And I'll stock up on food and things like that, right? Which is embarrassing at my age, of course, but I'll take it. Absolutely. It's made for my hair. What else is there? And he, within 5 minutes of getting here, he said, before I leave, I want your brother's number, your aunt's number, and whoever set all this up with your trust, his number, the lawyer, right? That's his language, whoever set all this up. And so I gave it to him and laughed, and that was before this woman said she was going to prison. And a member of the committee of the Homeowners Association, Condos Association, whoever dropped by and said something about it. I swear to you, nothing. I never heard this before. This is, at the very least, if this was a hallucination, it was a very new one. I saw her out the upstairs window. I was getting into the shower too. She said, "I'm not going to help you anymore. That woman's going to prison." And she came back. I saw her when she came back, and she talked to Dad. I said, "You can't help me now, are you, cunt?" She says, "Yes." And so it occurs to me that this call from Val, which prompted this, and if it is to be believed, because the symptoms are higher because of the norepinephrine dopamine imbalance. If what I heard is to be believed, quite a number of other people were arrested as well. And that leads me to believe that Ted might have foisted Kathy off the trust. And there was something else about a week before. There's a very pretty woman out there who sat there and talked to me all afternoon, which is weird. That anyone will do that all afternoon, just talk in normal voice. It's happened, and it used to happen more. And in fact, it happened just about a month before. But she was there 2 days in a row. And then I saw her, but I could have sworn it was her walking with a man with a briefcase. And I heard someone out there at night, and again, it wasn't, oh, maybe there was somebody here last night. In the morning, all she says she was walking off was fall. I thought it's getting, is that, Kathy's getting out the kind of complex to fall. And this sort of doubt in my voice just kind of reinforces the notion that it was, at least the voice was real, because if it was it could be very wrong, but if it was a hallucination, I think it'd be more certain than that, because my brain produced it for that meaning, right? But she said fall. Anyway, so I'm hoping. It occurred to me after I heard the fall. I was in the shower saying, something tells me sometime this year it'll happen. And yeah, the more money is the primary reason, but the more money, just in a minimalistic sense, like the tax stickers in my car. I try to start driving for Uber. I will, but it'll take a little bit of time because of my aunt. I simply don't have enough for the tax stickers. They're going to be, they're 3 years old. It's going to be $700-800, and for the registration of the stickers. And how am I going to do with this money? She has on such a tight leash, right? So I've got to go to the DMV and change address form. Change my address on my license because it was set to my dad's address for insurance purposes for many years. And we are on to changing it. And after that, maybe I can pick the bill up at the DMV, or else I have to call the treasurer's office and get the bill sent to me at my new address here. And then I have to mail the bill to my aunt, and she'll pay the bill, and the stickers will get mailed to me. And this process will probably take a month, right? And nobody puts off going to the DMV, of course. So realistically, it'll probably take 6 weeks from today. And when she could just plop the money in my account, I could go to the courthouse, drive down there, and pay for the stickers, and she could suck out whatever excess there was. And I could send a receipt or a photo of the receipt. But she won't do this. And of course, this is out and out abusive. And she's getting bolder and bolder with this stuff. And previously it was stuff that really did kind of up in my life like this. Not quite this bad, but at the same time didn't look as glaring. And in addition to this, there's the fact that she says she's not going to provide for any more condo or car repairs ever. Well, she didn't write that. What she wrote is my brother is now in charge of the condo and car, and he will provide for any repairs. And I know she's running this by him. I haven't talked to him in 3 weeks. I call him. I called him. He said he'd call back. I turned my phone off. He tried 3 times, and I got to call back. Yeah, he fucking phone calls. The power ran out. What? But I'd be surprised if she didn't run this by him, much less made arrangements to provide money for repairs and stuff. Because working to drive 11 hours each way to fix my car when something goes wrong, he is not a mechanic, or was. He starts by parts, so I need to change my brake. I gotta get new brakes, Chris. And okay, I'm in the car, and he has to pay for the pads on top of it because it's a lucrative scenario. And there's no way to agree to it. So I think it's this stuff that will nudge her off eventually if they haven't already scheduled the hearing, because that's just ridiculous, right? Um, it's blatant fucking neglect or what have you. Um, um, anyway, I, yeah, I realize, I just presume because of what I've been through there would be, but there might not be a viable suit against the conduct complex. You'd think there would be, considering what they allowed to happen. There might not be. And so, yeah, you coming out of this mess of the last month and a half, which Jim and I predicts I'll be sleeping normally by a week from today or tomorrow, I forget which. And I gotta catch up on my sleep because I miss so much. So it's gonna run into April. It's just gonna keep going. I gotta start fighting it a bit. And I tried yesterday with the reactive tour, like I said, and get the Uber job. And my thought is when my psychiatrist starts seeing compliance with the Adderall, if I get a job even just with Uber at 40 hours a month, that's what I was going to do, because that's still it. I'm doing nothing with my life levels, and I'll still be looking for a job. I got a good idea for an app. I don't know if it doesn't exist. I'll search for it. I could be imagining things because I've been a mess. I thought I heard the neighbor say something about how he wanted to do it. But he said private eyes, an app for private eyes. It's a great idea. You get all your images, so you upload them to the server, right? It syncs with your phone, and it's through a web interface. But when you upload them, you enter information like age, name, address, anything you want. And when you're out in the field, you snap somebody with your phone, and it searches your image bank, and if that person's there, it pulls them up with all that information. It's a brilliant idea. And so I was thinking about doing that, and part of the reason is, even though it puts off the job for a year, because realistically I won't do both, even though it puts off the job for 9 months or so, I get to learn React, which is glaringly missing from my resume. Like these jobs that have everything else, it requires good to have minimal qualifications, whatever you want to call it, right? They phrase it ways like that in some of the listings. Some places they don't. But it's glaringly absent React. And I do the server end on Python, which also is absent. And as time goes by, increasingly glaringly absent. Since I got 10 years of experience in C#, 1 year of experience in Python, if I can get to talk to human beings, it's more than adequate. Also only the big gap where I left off with IT software. Fuck this. That was a good product, I swear to God. When the 4K monitor came out, I had to redo the user interface stuff. I just had no heart for it because I knew it would never make any money. I was only doing it for the job search, and so I never really got to work completely. And you can still make tests that way, but the interface doesn't work or something like that. It works, but it doesn't look right. There'll be a box for a picture, but it'll only occupy the top quarter on a 4K monitor, something like that. It really was a good project. I swear to fucking God. But the research that they were doing about it, the test was developed by this guy named Anthony Greenwald, and then Harvard picked up doing a bunch of research about it, and they were real excited about it. They thought it was a good thing, but as time went by, the rest of it were wrong. And stupid me, as this evidence was surfacing, kept right on plugging away with it. And yes. But I think this one make money. And whether he called it out or not, I mean, catch him on the sidewalk. He's so high, he's getting all right. And keep my eyes open in October, November, as I near the end of it. And I catch him on the sidewalk and tell him about it. Run out the front door. Uh, so, because I don't know what to do with it after I write it. And of course, he does. He's not a marketing person, but he's like 65 years old. He's a private detective. He probably knows exactly what to do with it. You'd stuff up your ass. He's not that. He looks grouchy. He's actually not. He just traded jokes with me as he's passed the door a few times, like 2 or 3 times. Anyway, God. I don't know why I feel so good. I don't have any anxiety medicine in me. And you think I feel like absolute crap. I guess the 5 hours of solid sleep, when the second Adderall wore off, I was just a mess. I was bouncing off the walls. My head felt like it was going to explode. They said, if you not get sleep tonight, go ahead and take another one. And then while it was in effect, I got tired and slept. It eased my nerves. And I still have enough to get to the next bottle plus one. There's not going to be a single day without Adderall to the next bottle. But what I think might have happened is because it was the third one for the day, it successfully restored the norepinephrine and dopamine balance. And that's why I just closed my eyes and opened them again. It was 5 hours later. I don't know for sure. Anyway, God, that's 26 minutes.